Right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is the picture we were doing uh, before we disappeared off on holiday. Just to remind you of it. And this is as far as I had got. I think I will sit down because I can't see under the camera. Right. So, looking at that, I can see very clearly that this ear in the picture is not where I've got it. It's way out here. I have actually scratched away with credit cards some of that paint there, just to thin it down a bit so that when I put the lighter color on, it's not going to get jumbled up and disappear into the mix. Uh, right. Don't like that. That's too pink. It's more like. So his ear is actually, if I look at his hat there, it comes down here, and his ear is beyond his hat. So I will look at my hat. Oh, come on, you. There's the end of the hat. So the ear is out here. So the whole of his face is much further out. This is all very much lighter here. In fact, some of this is actually beard. So it comes down and it catches the light. Where's the light? That's the light. Right, so this up here is catching the light. And we've caught the light here too. Under his eye. And on his nose. Oh, come on, go where you want it. You can work back into that with the other color so that it's less prominent, because it's there, but you want to blur the edges a bit. And that's far too big a blob on the end of his nose. I've got to allow for some dark down here. I don't think that's dark enough. That would do for here. His cheek. And there's a bit there. His nose. And that's not right either. This color is actually too. I'll put some of that color there and work it in with this. This here is his ear is actually darker in places. If you look at it, the edge of his hat is making a shadow across his ear at a diagonal angle. I don't know if these pastels are going to be detailed enough to be able to do that. Push. Some of these dark colors. It comes dark here. What is actually lower down? And this comes in here. That's not dark. Not dark enough, is it? This is where I do resort to black with these pastels. What you want is a real dark. Yeah. Question of colour as much as anything else. So if you get the dark in, you can always green it up. Oh, it comes in a bit there. I got that in the right place. Should come down from his eye. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think we've got a bit of. That is far too light there. We need some real darks there. How did I dark his eyes? Used a brown, I think, didn't I? Is that the brown? That's not the brown. This is the brown. This is very much darker here. Very sad. Under that eyebrow, which is darker still. It just looks as though his eyebrow goes onto his nose, doesn't it? I find that difficult to believe. We'll do it that way. Not there. You really can't see very much of the eye here. Deep shadow here. This one is very much darker here. You can barely see. Having the guts to put the dark shadow on. This is darker too. Right. Right. So sorry, I've stopped talking because I'm concentrating. Right. Now let's see what we can do with his ear. It's not coming. That is dark. Just goes dark. It's, I hope you're seeing something because I seem to be incapable of talking while I'm doing it. That's actually a brown, warmer brown. Why haven't I got a warm brown? You don't seem to do burnt sienna in this here. Right, so we do that. Oh, that's better. I found it. Um, looks a bit better. There's more. That's quite as. No, that's light, isn't it? Inside there. It is light. These credit cards are wonderful. So that is actually light because the light is coming across his face. And I can even put in a bit of white. I think it's not right. Yes, yeah. If you really push hard, you can. Whoops, you can bend. You can bend it. You can bend it. Of course, it's had been in my hands, so they're softening because they're in my hands. No, it does respond, but you. It's trying to find the color that will give you the little twiddle that you want. And the blues tend to be fairly intense. That's a blue. It could be anything that could. No, that shrieks a bit. Yeah, take a bit of paper off. I take all the papers off my soft pastels, but not these. I think I need to blue it off a bit here. Push it back. A bit more. That's more of a too light. Because I've lost it now, haven't I? Oh, I have got a grey. Use that. That is quite dark there. She's coming around. I think it comes down a bit more there, doesn't it? I think it goes out a bit more too. Right. Now then, there are lines here in these reeds. And this side of his shirt is really dark. So we don't want it. I've had this trouble before. I haven't got a navy blue. I don't know if they do a navy blue. Oops. So I've got to use the black and cover it in with some blue to make it really dark. But he's really dark here. So we've got lovely contrast with his beard. And you can get that fall going nicely, can't you? Got a forked beard. So, right, I'll go over that with blue. Like everything, if you vary the pressure, you get a different effect. Oh, you got a navy blue in there? That's a purple. Got a purple. I think that's just spreading things around, but it's working. So that's okay. It looks like navy blue. Right. And the dark goes right over here. So we get that sort of look there. This. You can tell I'm in a mess because I've got so many pastels lying around. I'll try that one. Whoops. No, it looks more like a green, doesn't it? think he was wearing denim, wasn't he, really? The sort of thing he would wear. Now, this beard here doesn't come like that at all. Because this is surprising it won't. Maybe the crocodiles would object. Sorry, I heard that in my ears. So this, all this here helps to turn his head. Must have got the right colour out of there somewhere. I've got it here. That's it. Bingo. Yeah, that's a bit better. It's not the colour either. How on earth did I get that colour? That's not it. That's, I don't think that. Does anybody remember? Right, we'll try that. That's a sort of purpley colour, which we did use to get the light patches in his shirt. Just that blue is wrong, isn't it? I don't know which one. Right. Well, I don't think there's another lesson in him, but that was. Well, you know, it's just more of the same, having got this far. Well, you can't really get um, the sort of precision you can get with pencils or anything like that. But you can achieve something if you don't get lost in your pastels. No, no, absolutely not. There's no white showing. There's no point in putting it in.
Saw that.
That bit there, yeah, you can barely see, but you don't really see all that much. And eyes aren't white anyway. If they were up there, there'd be and you could see it, it would be blue because it's in deep shadow. I think that eye, in fact, needs to be a bit bigger because you can barely see out of that one. It needs to be more. Trouble with eyes is once you get it nearly right, you don't want to play with it. There's this eyebrow is lost in the shadows up there. And that is hidden. Where's the brown? This is hidden. The shadow over his face is quite definite, and I haven't really been paying attention to it. If I had the precision, it is just to put a tiny dot of white in the middle of that, there, where you get the light catch on the top of his eyes, a little bit. Yeah. These are.
Sorry.
Pencil. No, don't think they were. Yeah, I think. No, I can't move it, can I? Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, Anne. Sorry, Peter. Yes, it's better, but I think his eyes are wider apart than I've got them. Yeah, but I'm not going to play with them. I am not going to play with them. I'll darken this down here. You can, it does do a certain amount of detail if you can mist it back over another color, so you get that sort of here and not there, here and not here effect. Like I did a bit around the beard here. So there's partly it shows and partly it shows some of the background. So there's that to it. And if you press hard, you do get very much stronger color. Basic thing, you just got to play them until they work for you. Achieve what you want to do. That's a guide rather than, I'm not aiming at a portrait. It's a guide. And I think this comes down a little bit more. Yeah. I don't claim to be able to do portraits, but I think I think I have probably achieved what I want to do.
It looks like Ganbo.
Sort of.
Yeah.
This, in all these cases, when you're doing a face, the thing is not to say, I'm painting an eye, or I'm painting a nose, or whatever. Just. You're not actually painting a face, are you? No. Painting dark and light. Yes. Yes. It's not actually a face at all. No, it's a series of shapes. Yeah. And if you can think of a face in those terms, then you're more likely to get something that at least looks human.